just saying that Antonio Brown will practice with the team for the first time today. Despite the allegations, we're going to bring you that news conference basically in its entirety. It was classic Bill Belichick.
Also, David, we have Drew Rosenhaus, Antonio Brown's agent. He will join us in just a few minutes to discuss the allegations against his clients. Coast to Coast starts right now.
We going coast to coast. We going coast to coast.
We're live in Foxborough with the Patriots as new details emerge in the Antonio Brown case. Why Cam Newton and Carolina need Christian McCaffrey more than ever this week. Plus, Team USA unceremoniously dumped in the World Cup quarters. What happened? We'll show you that.
Sports Center, coast to coast. It's where you come when you want the most. Yeah. Every city, every state and time. Get ready, we about to break it down.
The sun's still shining, the sky's still blue. And the best thing is we still get to play on Sunday.
Will Antonio Brown get to play on Sunday? On the day of his first practice with the Patriots, Brown is in the news for a civil suit brought against him by his former trainer, Brittany Taylor, who has accused him of 3 incidents of sexual assault in 2017 and 2018, including an alleged rape. The NFL is investigating. Adam Schefter reporting this hour that Taylor does plan on meeting with the NFL next week, which is as early as she possibly can, because according to sources, she is getting married first. Brown's attorney issued this statement, which reads in part, Antonio Brown learned today that he has been named in a lawsuit filed in federal court in the Southern District of Florida. Mr. Brown denies each and every allegation in the lawsuit. He will pursue all legal remedies to not only clear his name, but to also protect other professional athletes against false accusations. The statement did acknowledge at least one incident when the two engaged in consensual sex. Just minutes ago, Bill Belichick was asked about the Antonio Brown situation, and it went about as you'd expect.
On Antonio's situation, both Antonio and his representatives have made statements, and so I'm not going to be expanding on any of those. They are what they are. We've looked into the situation. We're taking it very seriously, all the way through the organization. Sure, there are questions, but I'm not going to be entering into a discussion about that today. So we're at.
Bill, were you aware of the lawsuit when you signed Antonio Brown?
I'm not going to be expanding on the statements that have already been given.
Don't you think the fans deserve to hear a little more from you on
when we know more, we'll say more.
That could impact the team?
Yeah, I just said that.
Don't you think fans deserve to hear a little bit more?
When we know more, we'll say more.
Are you preparing to have Antonio Brown practice today?
Yes.
And are you preparing for him to play on Sunday?
We're taking it one day at a time, just like we always do.
Are you preparing for the possibility that he could be on the commissioner's?
We're preparing for one day at a time.
How much weight would the allegations against him weigh into whether or not you play him on Sunday?
Yeah, I appreciate all the questions, and that's what's been said has been said.
Bill, you brought up Randy Moss yesterday. Do you think that Antonio Brown will require as much attention as Moss did to get him in sync with the team?
Yeah, I didn't say that.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know if he'll require more attention?
No.
How difficult or frustrating is it to have a distraction like this right at the beginning of the season when you?
Yeah, we're working on Miami. We're working on Miami. The rest of it is, we're on Miami.
You've had bigger distractions before. Are you confident that this is not going to throw you off track at all?
We're working on Miami. Went through the scouting report, went through the game plan today. We're going to practice for Miami.
Can you tell us at all what Antonio Brown has said to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm done with that. Okay. Anything else on Miami?
Done with it in what way, sir?
Any other questions?
Can you explain what you mean when you're done with it? I mean, we're just trying to find out if he said anything to you about his position and about the allegations.
Yeah, and I just answered that question.
Well, actually, you did.
Actually, I did.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
All right, so that was Bill Belichick. Now we welcome in Drew Rosenhaus, Antonio Brown's agent, to Coast. Thanks for being here. The first question is, the moment you learned about this, what specifically did you say to your client?
The moment I learned about the lawsuit, Antonio and I have been unfortunately anticipating this possibility. And what I want to emphasize is that Antonio takes these allegations very seriously. He is a loving father of 5 children, including a daughter. I myself am a father, and I have 2 children, 2 daughters that I love very much, along with my wife. I wouldn't be doing this interview if I didn't believe Antonio. These allegations are false. He denies every one of them. I am very confident that his legal team has facts that will prove this. All we can ask for is that people keep in mind that this is a civil matter. This is not a criminal matter. This is a civil case right now, and there's a procedure. I've been an NFL agent for 30 years, and my concern is that people judge Antonio without knowing the facts.
Okay, well, speaking of the facts, you just said a moment ago you and Antonio were anticipating that this would be a possibility. And since you now know that it is a possibility, have you spoken with the NFL since these allegations came out?
I've spoken with the NFL Players Association. I have not talked to the NFL. The NFL has spoken with the NFLPA. I've been an NFL agent for over 30 years now, and I've been involved in working with the NFL and the NFLPA on issues like this. I've represented many athletes that have been in this position before. What I want to emphasize to everybody is please allow the situation to play itself out. Antonio will cooperate. He will cooperate with the Patriots, with the NFL, with any investigation, with the NFLPA, and in time, Antonio will be cleared. These allegations in the lawsuit are false. They are not true. They're absolutely untrue.
What are you advising your client to do in terms of the next steps?
I'm advising him to let the truth come out. I'm advising him to concentrate on football. I'm advising him to cooperate with the Patriots, with the NFL, with the NFLPA. Antonio and I both strongly believe that these allegations are very serious. In no way do we condone any type of illegal conduct, misbehavior. None of that happened here.
Okay, so in light of all the turmoil surrounding Antonio Brown.
This is a money grab.
Okay, I understand, and that is how you feel. That is fine, but in light of all the turmoil surrounding your client, Antonio Brown, why should the Patriots stick with him?
Well, let's keep in mind that this conduct that is being alleged supposedly centers around a relationship in 2018. This has nothing to do with Antonio's foot injury. This has nothing to do with the helmet issue. This has nothing to do with the issues they had with the Oakland Raiders. This has nothing to do with the New England Patriots. This has to do with allegations going back to a year and a half ago.
Well,
this has nothing to do with the current turmoil.
You say this has nothing to do with the Patriots. In fact, it does. Your client is now a Patriot, a new member of the Patriot. Today is his first day at practice. Do you know if the Patriots knew about these allegations ahead of time in signing him?
I'm not going to get into that element. I'm not going to get into my discussions with the Patriots or what may or may not have been discussed. I just want to reiterate, people should please keep in mind that Antonio denies these allegations. He will have a full investigation. He will go through the legal process, and we will cooperate. And there are facts out there that will come to light that will establish that he is indeed not guilty of any of these accusations. This is a civil matter, and this is a proceeding where the accuser is seeking financial gain.
This, All right, Drew Rosenhaus joining us here to tell us that he believes his client is innocent. In fact, that these allegations, in your opinion, are extremely serious, as well as Antonio's opinion, very serious. But this is a civil matter, and thank you so much for joining us here on Coast to Coast.
Thank you.
All right. Again, don't want to minimize the seriousness of the allegations. There is a football aspect to that. We have Marcus Spears in here to talk about that. We know the NFL, not everyone's a choir boy, and there are legitimate issues with a lot of players. When you hear about what's going on, if you're a New England Patriot right now, you don't really know Antonio Brown very well, and you hear all this stuff, whether it's true or not, how are you feeling about the situation?
How you feel and how you react is different, David. And I tell people this all the time. When you're dealing in NFL locker rooms, the one thing you have to remember about these other players is that this is their livelihood. This is different. This is not like when you're in college and you live in dorms together, and kind of what happens to your teammates affects you tremendously. The difference is, too, the environment that the New England Patriots are. These guys are well equipped to deal with things and keep them outside of what they do from a football standpoint. Now, obviously, you have discussions. You talk about it because he's the newest member of the team. He's there. This situation is transpiring and playing itself out. But the credit, to give the credit that this is going to take away from what the other professionals are doing, it just doesn't happen that way based on my experience when I played in the NFL.
So you can compartmentalize to the extent that there's some question whether this is a rapist or not, and you can go about and do your business with him on your team, and it's not a problem.
No. You don't go about it like you're thinking about Antonio Brown. See, the difference is you can have an opinion about what the situation is, but your job is you. That's tied to who you are individually. So as much as this can play out, and I have daughters, most guys on football teams have daughters, so you formulate your opinion, but you're not going about this like I need to take action against what Antonio Brown has presumably done. You go about it as, this is my job, this is my livelihood. And as far as the teammate, like everybody always talks about this, the brotherhood and the teammate, dudes are going to work to take care of themselves and their families. Right. So this part of it, that part that you just mentioned about the thinking of that, yes, absolutely you think about it. You have empathy for the situation. You have empathy for the victim if that is the case, if that is true. But at the same time, what Antonio Brown does doesn't affect my household and how I go about my job. Because if I do create that in my mind, it takes away from what my responsibilities are to not only being a football player, but more importantly, who I have to take care of.
Again, Antonio Brown starting his first practice with the Patriots in about a half hour's time, and he has denied all of these allegations. Marcus.